Okay, so it looks like my settings are correct and we're up and running again here. Welcome back to another session of randomized Doom2 Deathmatch mapping, in which I get a randomly selected texture pack from a wheel of 80 of them, and I map with whatever I get. I make a map from beginning to end in each session. Stream goes for about 4 hours, but if it takes me longer than that, it takes me longer than that. So I'm just going to do one final check to make sure everything is up and running correctly. It looks like it. And we are going to go ahead and give this a spin right now. Alright, here we go. Now I'm hoping for something not too brutal here. Too much brown. Okay, now that will be interesting. We're probably going to be looking at some kind of tech base, I imagine, working with these textures. We could probably find something urban too. I don't know too much about this, so I'm not too familiar with it. I've actually never used it or even opened it before. So this time, what we're going to do is we're not going to bother getting this assembled in Slade right away. What we're going to do is just load it as a resource, and then near the end, when I want to add in the sky and the song and what have you, then I will go ahead and drop my existing resource pack into this texture pack. So let's just jump into it here. I'm going to go ahead and get that loaded in UDB real quick. I've already got everything set up. Now you're not going to see me select my resources here just because I don't have my file system visible on stream. There we go, Doom2 is loaded. And there's too much brown, perfect. Okay, as with before, I'm using Xandronum UDMF, and that's for a variety of reasons. One, I want to be able to use stuff like 3D floors and slopes and all that good stuff, of course. And for more limited texture packs, I want the ability to be able to use flats on walls and wall textures on roofs and ceilings. That's going to give me a lot more versatility with a more limited size pack, of course. Now, I don't know how limited this one is, so we'll have to see what we're dealing with here in just a second. And that arrow is just telling me that something's double defined, but we're not going to worry about that. It's not a big deal. Okay, so you should see my UDB screen up on here now. Very good, very good. Okay, now I'm just going to start throwing down lines. Now, knowing that we're dealing with the pack too much brown, I probably am going to, like I said, be looking at some type of base here. So, knowing what I usually use for base geometry, I'm just going to start throwing down lines and we will see what happens. I'm kind of feeling, to begin with here, an outdoors area of some kind. Now, I'm just going to throw my my placeholder textures here real quick, which I always use Seal5_1 for both floors and ceilings. I find it helps the other textures contrast a bit easier. And for the wall texture, I always use my crate textures. And that's for a variety of reasons. I've noticed some people don't understand why I use the crate textures. It's mainly because, of course, 2 crates repeating is 128. So if I have 4 repeating, I know the 128 textures are going to repeat 2 times evenly. Another thing, the crate is exactly 64U high. So if I'm Doom Guy, I'm actually 8U below that. So if I was to put Doom Guy right next to this here, for an example, see how he's exactly 1 notch lower than the crate? So if I was making a map, I don't even have to think about it. I just know, hey, he's still going to be able to fit underneath that, no problem, you know? So that's part of the reason why I use the crate textures, is just for a little bit of ease in measuring, essentially. I find if you do something like Star Tan or one of those more busy textures, it's a little bit more difficult to gauge your immediate measurements, which makes sizing things a little more challenging, at least for me. That's why I do things the way I do here. So I've got this outdoor area. I'm not too pleased with it entirely, so I'm going to flip it on its side here. Get rid of this vertice. And we're going to go back to snap the grid and essentially make ourselves a little bit of a doorway here. Okay. So we'll connect this. And I'm going to take some jutting rock here, just so I can make the doorway a little bit easier to work with. And we will delete these. And there we go. So I'm going to drop this down a bit and raise these up a bit. And we got ourselves a bit of a doorway here now. Flip that so that the curve matches. There we go. Now what I'm probably going to do is have this path come out here, go left or right. I'm not sure which I want yet. Probably right, because I'm liking this adjustment here. And we're going to go ahead and connect. Some kind of long hallway of some sort. Nothing too crazy in terms of length, because we're going to have some kind of room in between here at some point. But that is what I'm ultimately looking to do right now, is just get this first wing set up. Which that looks good to me to start with here. Go down 2. By 2, I mean 2 notches of 64, 128 for my corners, which, you know, on an angle end up being 181. But it's essentially 2 across, one across each square, essentially, is what I'm measuring by here. So I want essentially 5 by 64 for the hallways. Fill that void in. Join that. And I'm going to bring this out a little bit here, just so that it's flush with the wall correctly. And we're going to break this up a little bit more here just to make it look a little more natural. Let's see. Okay, so if we're viewing this now, we've got this entryway here, which I'm going to raise a little bit of a lip here, just so I can further differentiate it from my natural lines. And I'll eventually do the same for this, which I'll also have at the 3x64 height, same with this doorway's entrance, just for a little bit of you know, visual symmetry there. We'll pop that out. Link to grid again and flip this one so that the curve will match. So we both have a step going into this location, essentially, like this. Now this is a bit too massive up here now, so I'm going to go ahead and condense this just a bit. Okay, and doing this here at the end of the wall should serve to make that look a little more like the actual building itself instead of like a rocky outcropping. And I'm thinking I'm going to add some kind of cave here, which might house a different entrance. So I'm thinking this outdoor area in the middle is going to be a sort of central courtyard in a way. where you're going to have movement feeding in from here, movement feeding in from here, and possibly whatever I end up putting here. Which, if I'm going to put an entrance here, I might as well connect to here. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And of course, that's not something I had planned ahead. That's just something that I think will work, just looking at this spontaneously here. Whoops, we don't want that. A bit high. There we go. Alright. So, we're going to go 4x4 in the hallway here. Like so. There we go. Bring that out a bit. Delete that vertex, we don't need it. Bring that forwards a bit. I probably don't need that either. Move that up a little bit more, and then we're going to probably curve this here. Increase that curve a little bit. Because we're at a slightly different angle. Makes more sense to me. Lower this cave wall, or cave roof, pardon me. There we go. Now here is a little bit of nothing going on. I might have a raised path from this side accessing that somehow. So I'm going to drop this angle down to my standard 88 for my entranceways. Drop that. There we go. Okay. Now, if I've done the cave kind of thing there, I might want to do it somewhere else as well. It could look nice, actually. So let's go ahead and connect these here. Bring that up, bring that down, bring that up a little bit more. There we go. We could connect at just 64 height, or it might be nice to have it flush at 128 with the rest of them here. Let me think for a second. I'm kind of thinking that'll work. It'll look even better when I have an additional entrance here, which I might make accessible from this side going east as well. So there's going to be a western ledge here. You can come from this way for sure. But if I also make it accessible from the east, it might make this side more connected to the rest of the map, essentially. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Turn that, bring that up, and I'm going to curve these. There we go. So that looks pretty nice, actually. And get rid of this vertex because it's superfluous. We don't actually need it, I don't think. Bring that down a little bit. Maybe a lot of it. There we go. I'm going to curve this, probably inwards. And then connect that there and curve this also. We'll go that direction there. And we'll also curve this to match on that side. Okay, so I need some kind of additional artificial roof here. Because otherwise we're going to be looking a little weird. And while I'm all for a little bit of weird and a little bit of unorthodox, I don't want to go too far. There we go. That looks a little more, not natural, but realistic at least. And we'll connect here, curve this up to 88 as well as the other one. Drop that here. Raise that for one single stair. Okay, so we are well on our way. We've actually got something resembling this open courtyard setup I was mentioning here. trying to decide if I should drop this down 1. But then I kind of limit the height I'm looking for. So I might just raise that. Flare that. There we go. Now, in terms of what we actually have for textures, we actually have quite a bit. Yeah, we've got some good brick textures. We've got some good concrete. What else do we have? Oh, we have some nice tech arches or something, you know, of that type. We even have a flat that I can add an animation depth to, which would look pretty cool, I think. And some kind of mid-texture vent thing, which could be cool also. Lots of metal sheeting and such. Some Quake-ish looking numbers. I don't know how much I'll use those, but they look cool. This could be cool for a scrolling computer monitor effect or something. And we've got some relatively interesting brick tiles here. Pardon me, rock tiling. These also could serve as moving liquids once I apply an animation depth if I need to. And these lights here, with a downward or upward scrolling effect on a pillar or something, that could look very cool. So yeah, we don't have a ton to work with here, but we certainly have enough to work with here. So I will try to avoid using Doom2 where I can, but I will likely still use, you know, a single colored metal or something like that for a border texture. Something like that. But in terms of the actual main textures, I'm definitely sticking to this, of course. That's the whole point of this project, right? So now I got an idea just looking at these vents here for a bit of a weird item placement. So I'm going to try to rough that in right now before I forget. First, I'm going to try to get this these height differentials set up. So I gotta keep that lip there to differentiate it from the rock. But if I drop this here, slope, and then use this as another stair. Because remember, we're jumping in this. This is UDMF, so you know that might look clunky. Oh, you know, how am I gonna get up there just walking? Well, you can get up from this side, of course, but a jump will clear that easy. You won't even hit the side of it. Now for here, I'm going to try to drop this a bit more, like so, and do this here, drop this vertice, come from here and link, bring a lip up, and then I'm going to curve that lip to match the curved lip next to it, which is going to give us this little notch here, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So I'll go in here, link that, and curve that inwards. Let's see. Perhaps it'd be better just to keep them lip down like that, or I'm trying to make sure that I can get the correct height going here for either side, so they match kind of flush in the middle. Now this I'm just going to get rid of for now. And maybe I'll just go ahead and bring down the path here, and then curve from this instead of curving from this. That way I'll avoid that lip entirely. There we go. Okay. So you come out here. You've got something to differentiate it here. Good. Could probably serve to lower the roof here a bit, but I'm not sure if I want to do that quite yet. Not until I get the rest of this floor height stuff figured out. Okay. Probably go with that. Yep. Drop this a little bit here, which in turn will allow us to bring this down a bit. Which I'm not sure if I like this little section here, but we can always figure that out as we go. It's a tad awkward, but it's only because that's not brought down fully. There we go. So this should probably be connected like this, and then that flared inward. There we go. Now that awkward look is gone. Okay. Now this section right here could be good to put that 128 by 128 vent into. Or I could do something like that for a different region here. I'm trying to think just how much I want to make that inconvenient, because if I put an item at the end of a vent, you're not going to get through the vent, evidently, right? So I'm trying to find a place where I can put it without it being too obtuse. So let's try it here for a second. Cross this here and flip that and put the vent here. What do we have? What do we have? I know I saw one earlier that I wanted to use. Can't remember what the exact name was, though. You'll go to all. Now, I kind of like this with the torn chain link. I also kind of like this, so we might try that first. Set that as impassable and block projectiles, but not block hit scans. We don't want that. Bring this up. Bring this down. There we go. Bring that up. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting looking. Yeah, I like that actually. Now I wonder if I can curve that and it still look okay. Does that look all right? Maybe if I go here. No. So yeah, you won't curve it. It'll look fine like it is here. Now to make this accessible, drop that. And link that like so. And what we'll do is we will cut a little segment out here for a power up. Like so. Which then also gives us an excuse to drop an equivalent light. Or even a series of lights down this hallway. Which could look pretty cool, actually. Let's see, middle of each block. There we go. Curve all of them. to match. Oops. Curve all of them to match the initial light there. There we are. Now, of course, this is going to put indents in the ground. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a problem because it could end up being a cool little effect. Cool little visual effect if I can just get the heights correct here. One up, one up. Okay, so these are all the same height, it looks like. 4.42. Yeah, okay, good. So you'll essentially run up these like a ladder almost. That's going to allow us to drop some very nice little lights here. There you go. That's pretty cool. That's a cool little effect there. I'm going to curve these inwards slightly. That should work. Yep. Now we're talking. Okay. So what that'll do is it'll allow players that are traveling through the inner part of the courtyard here to actually see when someone's trying to snag that power up. Plus, if you're trying to get that power up, you now have to take a risk to go up here and potentially have a rocket dumped on you right at the end of the hallway. So, might be a good place for a blue armor. I'm not sure yet. Here we are going to drop another slope. Slope it to here, which gives you these little wings, but I think that kind of looks cool. I know a lot of people like to have their stuff completely flush with each other. I think it kind of looks neat not to sometimes. Now that's a bit too pronounced. Perhaps curve that, but maybe half of what I was just doing there. Yep, there we go. And here, okay, so we got a height differential here and here. In this area, you can't really because we have this going on, which is fine. Maybe if I lower this, bring this down to just a lip again. Oh, that is steep as all hell now. Okay. Let's think. So it might be fun to have a little bit more of a differential here in terms of the verticality. I wonder if we can lower this area at all. No, we can't. Okay. Could put a little divot here, though. Raise this a little bit more. And drop this a little bit as well. There. It's kind of interesting looking. Gives you a little height differential. Being down here, that'll give you a tiny bit of leeway in terms of cover. Which that's not the primary purpose of that, of course, but it will help a little bit. What else do we need here? Maybe if I curve this the other way, because I don't really like that curve. There we go. Actually, if I was to drop this, and split this one more time, and curve that as well at the same angle. Well, that makes a whole lot more sense now, visually at least. Okay, and here I'm going to do something with 3D floor. Because it's been like 3 or 4 maps since I've touched 3D floors, and I think I have an idea of what I can do here. First, I'm going to get this saved so that dialogue stops popping up. But we have a little bit of a map going on here. We might have to add another region or two still, but so far so good. Okay. Probably going to want to put a centralized weapon platform of some kind in the middle here. Now that's going to draw a little bit of motion towards the center, because right now if we have a power up here and not much else going on elsewhere, then this whole area is going to get congested, but this area is going to get ignored. Because why would you go into an open, vulnerable area if there's nothing present, right? So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to get that adjusted so that we can drop some kind of octagon or hexagon or what have you in the middle there and get some stuff moving faster. Okay. That looks cool, actually. There we go. Add that here, and then it's kind of going to look like a flower in a way. And maybe if I do something different here, add a larger circle in just the center. It'll look a little less flowery, which I don't mind flowers. I grow enough of them. But I don't know if that's what we want for a weapon platform, you know? So now I'm going to drop down to here to 16, and we're going to put these little sections here, curve them. And a little nub in the center is going to go double their height. Like so. Alright, so we might have to move that flower from that area a little bit. Let's see. I want to pull people a little bit further. But yeah, I want to leave room for what I'm doing 3D floor-wise over here. So let me go ahead and draw what I had in mind. So a nice high area like this where you can see the rest of the map could be fun for a railgun. Could be fun for a sort of sniping position. So I'll raise that here. And we're going to make a tiny kind of staircase in the bottom. Now I'm thinking I want to make that top area only accessible from teleport, but yet leave it low enough, like this level here, so that anybody in the ground can still splash the roof and be able to kill anybody that's camping potentially. So there's going to be a middle platform here, a lower platform that's accessible from a lower staircase, like so. And then the top platform here is going to be accessible only from a teleporter. And I think a good place for a teleporter would be somewhere along this wall here. Plus that will drive people past blue armor position, So you'll have people constantly trying to scrap with each other if they see each other, you know, trying to acquire whatever armor. Which I think we're going to go with blue in this case, because the risk you're incurring for going into this region needs to be matched by the power-up value. So I think a green armor wouldn't suffice, because you're going for a little bit more risk than what a green armor is worth, in my opinion. So that should work. Let's see. Finish the staircase up here. There we go. Move him. Do the same over here. I want to use a lot of course, brown. This is too much brown, right? But I want to use a bunch of green as well. Kind of pair it with, what do you call it? Some greenery. And UDB is doing that thing right now where it stops you from being able to move a vertice. So I'm just going to reopen the map real quick. Kind of a pain, but it is what it is. I don't know if you guys have had that happen before where all of a sudden you just can't move a vertice. No biggie though. We've got the map loaded up already again here, so, and that usually fixes the problem. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got ourselves a level here. Now I like this position. I'll show you. I'm gonna flex this here. So this right here is a great position for a teleporter because you're gonna have feed from here, and from here. Not to mention if the player that's on the rail then decides to return to a teleporter, you're gonna have someone coming up from here as well, right? So that's going to be extremely congested, and in turn will place more pressure on this armor here as well. So that's kind of the idea for right now. I'm going to drop a couple vertices here so I can bring this area out a bit. So to give us yet an additional place to put a weapon or a spawn. And thank the Lord I have this acquired a keyboard now. It used to drive me nuts with all the click-clacking going on every 2 seconds before. So thankfully that's fixed, and thankfully I'm not fixing anything on the fly this time. Okay. So that comes out of a curve, I know. But if this is primarily a spawn, you can still jump up if you want, of course, but if this is primarily a spawn, that's not going to be too much of a problem. Now this right here, that looks really tiny, right? Like, oh no, how is Doom guy going to possibly fit in there? Well, he fits in there. He in fact fits even this height. Anything lower than that though, no. So what I'll do here is I'm going to drop a little platform, because he'll still be able to fit on top of that even. See, he still has some leeway there actually, so that's really good. Essentially, his spawn will come whooshing out of here, but you'll have this option, this option, this option at first. Now, wherever this guy is up here on this top floor for the railgun, potentially, he's only going to barely be able to see this guy, so he's not too vulnerable. Like, he looks like he could be vulnerable in that position, but he's not that vulnerable. Not vulnerable enough that I'd be concerned about, is what I'm saying. So we're going to do a little bit of a dip here. Get rid of this vertice. Add the teleport platform here. like so. Drop this down. So now you kind of flow into here a little interestingly, at least. You'll have some extra momentum coming into the teleport. Take this and curve it, because we can't curve the other slope. It'll look gross. There we go. Now, being it is a teleport, I want to make it look nice. So I'm going to snap that to grid, and then put probably a torch, or not a torch, maybe we are kind of dealing with a urban, you know, tech-based type thing going on. Whoops. Why is that vertex causing me issues? 1 second. Why is that little vertex popping up? I might have to manually draw that. Just because it seems to want to cause me a problem here. There we go. So these will be level here. And like so. Now, of course, this is misaligned with this, right? I'm not worried about that, because there's going to be border textures I'm going to be incorporating at some point here, so. That and that. Now I'm kind of thinking, should I put just a regular ass light there, or should I grab these back 4 vertices and bring them forwards, and then use that said wall to house a new light of some kind, like this. I'll show you. Like that. You see how that's kind of a nice looking effect? What is that MIDI doing? That's not good. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I get one that sounds like it's scrubbing the floor, and it's just not for me. Okay, so now I gotta find some kind of light here. Or not necessarily a light, but a texture that can be used as a light, if that makes sense. Let's see. Perhaps this. Could look cool, could look cool. I can always adjust the height to fit these. Now, the side's different from this side, obviously. So I'm going to move that over like so. Bring that up 2, and bring this down 2. And there we go. We've actually got a pretty cool looking light wall going on there. Okay, move that over. Drop 2. Drop 2. Whoops, pardon me, raise 2. Don't know how I was thinking there. There we go. I'm actually going to move these last row of vertices forwards 1 more notch, just to further bring exaggeration to these lights. And depending on my mood, I'll usually drop a mid texture there too, but I got to see what we have available first. I know there's some good ones in this set. I'm hoping for kind of just an open-ended chain link type thing, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up getting here. These could work, but then I don't want to obscure too much of the light. This, if I'm lucky, could possibly work. Let me just take a look here. Because that is a 128. Oh no, it's a 64 space. Okay. Let's see. Looks like a mess right now, but we'll see if I can move this over. I wonder if that works or not. I can't even tell. Does that work? I don't think so. I'm gonna find an alternative. Maybe this one. That looks a whole lot better. At least for this situation. That looks cool. Okay. So go to my line defs again, drop this in. Oh, I thought whatever. I thought I'd copy that. I guess not. No big deal. Plop this on the back side as well. Even it and move it. Now, does that connect to the ground? Both of them don't connect to the ground. Okay. I think I can get away with that. It looks pretty neat. Yeah, it looks cool. We'll stick with that. Drop this for the teleporter. Try to keep it flush with everything else though. There we go. And I'm going to add an additional line here. Flex the back side of this. Now what's the point of that? Okay. So now for teleporter surfaces, I'm not actually sure what we have, but I'm also not too worried because whatever I do find that could work, I can always throw some particle fountains and a sector lighting effect, and then, you know, we're set. So I kind of like this. That's pretty nice, actually. Now, I'm not going to do all my texturing right now, of course, but this is just to get the main bulk going, you know? Because we're using too much brown, it only makes sense to use this ceiling flat from Doom 2. So it'll actually pair quite well with everything. And it'll probably be among my only Doom 2 textures I use. Except perhaps a waterfall texture or something of the like. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty rad, actually. I'm going to be filling this into something else. But so far, if I was to throw some orange, if I have orange, I don't. I guess we'll go with red. Oh, maybe yellow. Yellow will work better. Yeah, yellow particle fountains. Okay. Maybe I should bring this down a bit? Or is that gross? Bit gross. Okay. Here, I might want to have some kind of, not like a portal or anything crazy, but something that's at least eye-catching. It kind of fits the orange scheme. Ooh, this will work just fine. Yep, that's going to work perfectly. There we go. And for here, what do I want? What do I want? Maybe this? Or does that blend in too well with the normal Doom 2 ceiling flat? I think it does. So, maybe I'll go with a brick, perhaps? Or this, perhaps. That works. Yeah, it looks cool. Okay. So we're gonna probably want that there, over here, and there. Yeah, one of these flickering and the teleporter glowing is gonna look great. That's what I think, at least. It might be cool to have a little raised, like a lowered light here, but in turn, because of that lowered light, have a raised platform there of some kind. I'm not so sure yet, though. Okay, let's get this other staircase finished. There we go. And draw our little incentive platform. Let's see here. There we go. Now I'm not going to bother drawing a light here because when I draw that middle, what do you call it, 3D floor, I'm going to leave this void for a tag so that I can then make a secondary 3D floor which acts as both a platform on top of the 3D floor and a light hanging down from the 3D floor. It's hard to explain. Once I do it, you'll know what I mean. Move my 3D floor sector box thing over there. And what are we working with height-wise? Okay, so I'm probably going to go with 264 and 200. There we go. Gives us something to work with. Put that mid-between like this. You see how there's a void here now? Well, that's going to be like that as a light. Then I'm going to make this its own 3D floor. Also at 264 by 200. And then lower this so that it's a platform here, but also a light here, like that. Curve this because it'll look great. There we go. Perfect. And I'm kind of thinking of, well, in order to get up here, right, we're going to need some kind of teleporter. So luckily we're right back against this wall here, which gives me every opportunity to set that up. Get rid of this tag. There we go. Raise this. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Even that out. And we're going to drop a teleporter here. So you're going to get a no-stop teleporter. And you're going to just whoosh out of here. Snag that railgun. Now I'm trying to think of a way to do this without having people abuse this upper platform as a camping location, which is going to be easier said than done, of course. I could bring this all the way up close, but then I almost make the railgun person a little too vulnerable, right? Because it comes up right like a lip like this. There's not much incentive to stay up here, which is kind of what I'm looking for. But by doing that, I kind of like I'm just trying to think here, because obviously a rocket hitting any location up here is doable, and that will hurt. That'll obviously hurt. I think I might have to make another path up there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this back to where it was. There we go. And we're going to probably add a path right here from these lines going up here. Because then, if Jim is camping all day with the damn railgun, well then Bob can just go up the damn, you know, secondary path and hit Jim. Like, you don't have to worry about Jim owning the place, essentially, you know? Okay. So we're an hour in, I've got most of my layout done, so things are going pretty good here so far. Let's see, right here, like this. To here and here. And then come all the way back down to probably this furthest right vertex. Connect here, here, and here. There we go. It's looking good, actually. Logical, at least. The whole layout is making some sense to me so far, so that's good. Now remember, this is going to be all rocky territory going up here. So probably some kind of natural-looking staircase. Yeah, that works. Come across here. And here. How many of these do I need, I think? Probably 5 or 6. Okay. So let's just test this out. 1, 2. I'm probably gonna want 3 high stairs. We're dealing with a natural rocky stair situation. We don't really need, you know, like reasonable height stairs. Like I usually go two notches, but I'm going with 3 this time. This is gonna give me a little bit extra height with a little less stairs. For stuff like indoors and buildings and stuff, I'll do 2 height usually. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, we still need some more work here. So I'm going to lower that to, let's see, here. Texture all that. And I guess we probably need another 3 of these. That's just a guess though, I'm not certain. So yeah, things are going pretty decently here so far. One moment here. I'm just gonna take a look at how the stream health is going here. Okay, now everything's good. I thought my bitrate was wrong or something. I was looking at my display screen here, but now everything's fine. Okay, so I think these last couple stairs will get me to where I need to be. All right. Now I'm gonna need some kind of lighting going on here. Other than just this, of course. Bring this back a bit to give me a little more room. Which in turn could also allow for a spawn location. Okay. So I'm actually going to jump into this and just run around. Just make sure that nothing is inherently broken already. Which I doubt it. It looks like a pretty sensible setup so far. So that's what I'll do. I will quickly load Zendronum up, which should be working because I have had it working each time I've used it now. So I'm going to do that. And hopefully OBS is picking that up. Yep, looks like it. Good stuff. Okay. So I've got this going on. Yeah, that's quite a good little jump location. Hitting that teleporter after going through there will be fun. Oh, so an extra one of those. Okay, no problem. Can I go up here? Yes, I can. Good. So that little weird light staircase thing actually does work. Kind of feel like this is missing something still, but I'm not sure what. Okay. So I'm going to put a super shotgun here because it's going to be too much of a pain in the ass to try to reliably get up here each time for a more integral weapon, or, you know, a more sought after weapon. Most of my spawns typically use super shotgun of some kind, or railgun plasma, or occasionally rocket. It's not so much chain gun and single shotty, of course. So I'm going to put a super shotgun there because that's probably going to be a spawn point. Right here would be another good spawn point. Okay, right here. So that's what, 3 or 4 already? And because someone's down there, I could probably get away with putting someone up here. I kind of have to accommodate that teleporter still, so let me think for a second. Yeah, a no-stop teleporter from there to there will be fun. So yeah, good. Okay, so let's hop back into UDB here. And just see what else we need to add in. I kind of want to flip this on its side. Looks good. Okay, and get rid of one of these spawns. Now for teleporter coming up here, probably right in this section at the end would be the best. Like, granted, if you were to put one in the middle, it'd be more vulnerable. But I don't know how vulnerable I want to make this person, really, right? Raise that. Lower that. And grab that. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Hopefully that's the right one now. What? That's weird. Okay, there we go. grab this border for it. Now I'm probably going to just connect it to the wall, because then that gives me the excuse to be able to add some kind of border here, you know. And I'm probably going to match it up stylistically with the one below it, like so. I thought there was a by 2 here. No. I know there's a smaller set of lights that might work for that. Where did I see those? Here, perhaps? Well, that will work, obviously, but I want a yellow. There we go. I might have to do this. Give myself a little bit of height so I can better align that light texture. Still not perfect. Wow. Okay. Maybe there's a better option here still. We'll see. Is this a white light? If it's a white light, I can work with it. Kind of. Okay. Now if I select all of this, add a yellow light. See, that's a bit too urine-y. You know what I mean? That's a little bit too ugly of a yellow. I need something a little, maybe even a little bit lighter of an orange, perhaps. Huh. I kind of like that, actually. I like it better than the orange, at least. That's what I'm dealing with otherwise here, so let me copy that. Bring it here, here, and like this. That actually looks pretty cool. Okay, maybe I was talking my ass earlier. That actually looks pretty nice. Then drop a pillar here. Probably some kind of natural rock pillar. So it gives me an excuse to put a little bit of cover in between those doorways. Okay, like so. There we go. And maybe one here. So I think this is at the exact same plane, so I could probably get away with using it twice, but turned. And adjust it a little bit. Oops. Come on. There we go. Shrink that and turn it so there's a little bit of difference. There we go. Okay, we are coming along. I'm going to put some kind of beam across the center here for further contrast. And lower this. So who wants just sky for the cave roof? It's not going to look good. Yeah, probably just one's fine. For here, we're going to go with the sky. Which might be the only location in the level that we show the sky. I'm kind of fine with that. Okay, that looks good. Here, we've got to put something going on. like some kind of inset detail. Okay. And I'm going to flare these a little bit. Like so. So we can logically repeat that same thing we did for these other lights over here, but I might want to do these ones instead. Yeah, because these will actually fit here, and they curve pretty nicely here, so yeah, we'll go with that. Select it and bring a couple over. There we go. We already know he's going to be bright as hell, so that works. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing some stuff come together here now. It's giving me some ideas. Okay. So from this view here, like that's actually pretty nice looking. You got one entry, two entries. If you're a railgun player, that blue armor guy is visible from here. See? You can just barely see it through the grate. So that'll put some added pressure on what's arguably going to be the best item in the map. And then you can see this entrance, this entrance, this entrance, this one, the blue armor guy, and this entrance. So this is an extremely powerful location. So that's why I had to have the alternate path up here. Or you're just going to have people, you know, abusing the hell out of this as a camping area. Thankfully, this is not going to be a stop and wait teleporter. Because if someone did have a railgun up here, well then you're dead instantaneously. There's not even a point. But if it's a no stop, that kind of gives you a chance to rush them, you know? So we'll see how that works out. Now it's just about dropping a little bit of detail to fill in the rest of the map here. Like so. We'll draw a light strip here. Curve this. Curve this, but inwards, there we go. And that, outwards. Now you might as well do the inverse on the floor because that will allow us a little bit of extra place to put some color, whether it's liquid or the reverse of the lights or whatever I decided to go with there. So. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. So I'm not going to bother putting the lights over top of the slope because that's just going to ruin everything. So I'll stick 3 here. And another 2 will go here, but I'll extend those. Okay, making sense, making sense. All right. What else am I missing here? Well, this side's a little bare. So we're probably going to inset some details here. I don't know if I like going the full 2 blocks apart, maybe just 1 block apart. There we go. Okay, I'm going to jut all of this at the same time because it'll look nice. Lower that curve threshold a little bit. And raise all of these to here. Okay. That looks pretty good. Forgot to do the same here, so I'll do that here as well. Okay, that's making sense to me. Alright. Oh, what happened here? Oh, the lights. Okay. So, that might work if I set these up as platforms correctly, but we'll see. You know, I can probably get away with that if I put something on top of these. Now, if I curve them, that might be a different story. We'll see what happens with that. See, that looks kind of cool, you know? The bottom parts actually look reasonable now. Here, I'm going to do this. Stagger these lights a little bit. So. Come on. There we go. Curve these, because why not? It'll look nice. So these central ones will keep curved, and these external ones, or exterior ones, will keep uncurved. Now here, seeing as this isn't a 3D floor, we can actually do some stuff with it. I think I might add just a little bit of a border, like this, so I can add some additional rock textures. Like so. There we go. Maybe I'll lower this one. Like that. Okay. Tiny bit more natural looking now. Here it might be better to do the reverse and put some kind of liquid in here. Now if I'm dealing with mainly brown, I'm not going to want to use the muddy water liquid because that's just more brown, right? But green or a slime of some kind would contrast nicely, I think. Like this right here. Throw Anim Deaths on that, or whatever the Anim Deaths, Warp, that's it, Warp 1, yeah. Warp 1 on this would look great. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find some other places I can put it. Here. And anywhere else? Maybe it makes sense to do this. There we go. Gives us a little slap of extra color. And perhaps just to give us a little extra headroom, we can do this. And I'll curve this the other way, but very slightly, not anything serious. There we go. Looks good. Because we're dealing with this much brown, which is fine. You know, that's what I wanted to get into here, is random texture packs, of course. But If a texture pack has this much brown, it might be best to try to mix some green with it. Not complaining, by the way. I think this is actually a good choice, this texture pack. And we'll throw some more green here. Now this is the more look like, oh, you know, some acid rain has pooled up here, rather than, oh, let's throw a waterfall, let's do this, let's do that. Although a waterfall out here might make sense. I'm trying to piece everything together as I go here, of course. Maybe if I do this. Oops, there we go. Now there's no slime fall texture exclusive to too much brown, which is fine. I don't expect there to be. So that's where I'll be using my second Doom 2 texture so far. Drop a bit of a waterfall here. So that's going to give us something. There we go. Nice. Drop this to 112. There we go. Drop that. There we go. Very nice. Now, I'm not going to make the acid glow because it's just going to complicate the entirety of the rest of the map in terms of its lighting. So what I might just do is throw a very light green hue to it. Possibly even lighter. Yeah, maybe that. Copy that, and I'm just going to go around and paste it wherever that is. Okay. And here. And here. I think there's one more spot there is. Yeah, right here. Okay. So that kind of gives us the whole, oh, the new kid stuff's glowing without actually making us have to work too hard at fitting it to the rest of the map in terms of the lighting. So surround this. But we're going to use this for a separate splash of rock here at some point. And I'm going to do the same for here. I think that'll work. Not there though. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to drop a different colored rock here just to further break things up. Now obviously I can't turn this because I'm going to end up destroying that curve. So I might do that instead. There we go. And because it's against the wall, it's going to disrupt the other texture, so I'll probably do this. Like so. Now it might be worth it for me to put some kind of acid around this, or maybe this would be better. Take that, put it here, put this here. I raise this to -4 or -3, sure. Take the color from this one, drop it here. Okay, now we're looking pretty cool. We're actually looking decent. Okay. It's like an acidy kind of brown base. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Kind of something you'd almost see in Quake, of course, being that there's so many Quake 1 type resources in this pack. go. Now I think I've got pretty much everything I want done in terms of details here now. Maybe I'll put a couple more things in. But so far, we are doing really, really good here, I think. Take that and put it, whoops, here. And we'll do that same weird curve wall thing we did before. There we go. Might even work better indoors here with the symmetrical angles instead of outdoors where we were trying to force it earlier. Because here, a perfect 128, right? Almost in a perfect 64 wide, almost. So, could be good. In fact, might duplicate these. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. Okay, actually, I'm going to duplicate them still, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it where I can still add it in that middle area, possibly. See, it's 128 here, and the rest are 64, right? So does that look right? Kinda. Maybe if I can't because of that vertice. Okay. But yeah, that vertice isn't even doing anything. Okay. Let's try this. Nothing changed. There we go. That's what you want to see. So I'll get rid of that. I'll move these down 2. Move these down 2. Copy this. Whoops, not like that. Copy that. There we go. I guess. So now we have on the edges 32, 64, 64, 64, 64, 32. That works. Very nice. Okay, yeah, that's going to be good, actually. That's going to be very good. So here now, I'm going to draw just a very slight rock border along that wall, just because I think it'll look right. It shouldn't affect this 3D floor at all. Oops. There we go. Nope, doesn't affect anything. Good. Okay. So just trying to get a rough overview of this here. If you look at it like that, it actually looks like a pretty involved map. I'm just worried that those teleports are, well, they're in a good position. I'm just worried that they're going to possibly streamline things too much and make things seem a bit smaller than they are. When really, this is a fairly large map. It's like 1 block, 2 block, 3, 4. I don't know, 5 times 1024 almost. The total mass. So I think it'll be fine. So now I'm going to get the lighting done. And right here, I can probably get away with adding another little bit of lighting detail on the border of each of this spawn point here. What the heck is going on here? Same for the other side? No, okay. Yeah, sometimes when I move stuff around, I knock stuff off grid occasionally, which is a little annoying. Okay, put that here. Doesn't matter that we're on a slope, it makes no difference. So we're gonna go with the top anyway here. Okay. Now that we've got the green sector light and the yellow sector light going, which kind of complement each other. They're not like polar opposites or anything. But I kind of need to figure out now, am I doing this in yellow? Am I doing this in green? Like, what am I doing here? So I'm just going to go around and do the rough lighting now. I think we're going to work with 144 because those browns are going to look really nice in 144. Normally, like for out here, we'll actually go to 160 because of all that influence of the natural light from this section. So we'll go 160 here because it's a lighter shadow because of its proximity to the outdoors. Okay. Same here. 60, 60, 60 again. Raise that. Okay, no roof here. Should there be one? That's the question. Maybe. Because then we wouldn't have to deal with that green wall. That looks better, actually. Okay. That looks good. Because before we had that green wall here, it's a little awkward looking in my opinion. Now perhaps if we follow a similar principle here, we will get rid of that same problem. Yeah, there we go. So you get best of both worlds here still. Okay. So these will drop to 160. This to 144 actually. Crank that to 256. Same with that. This. There we go. $160 there. Is this gonna work? Yes, it does. Good. 144 for the roof. 144 for the roof platform again. Now here we can go to 136 for a little extra color. Not color, absence of color, because we've got the extra material here. We might as well do a shadow. Okay, that'll all be 144. This will be 160. That's too bright. There we go. It's that fake contrast again, but whatever. Okay. 160 for here because we're gonna have the residual ambient light from all this nonsense going on. Which will all be 256 because I want to draw attention to that power up. This hallway is 144, and these will be 256 full bright. There we go. Same with this. $144 and maybe 136 here. 256 there. Oh, this is going good. Yeah, this is going really good. I'm almost done my lighting already. We're gonna add a little bit more stuff in, of course, but so far so good. Okay. Drop down to 160, 144, pardon me. 144, 256 here. So I'm thinking of jutting that into, yeah, there we go, that'll work. So that gives me an excuse to cast some light here. From this right here, which will be a light. Okay. How's that 192 still? Did I not do that yet? I guess not. For all of this. Is that the same height? Yes, it is. Good. That up to. These up to. Okay. 256 for that. Okay, I think our lighting is like close to done here. At least the first part. At least the part that I'm roughing out here. Here will be a good spot for a spawn, so I'm going to drop one here. At the end of all of this, I'm going to test everything with bots, just to make sure that I like what's going on. Sounds like a Super Mario 64 MIDI, actually. It's not a bad thing, of course. Put some lights in here. A light. Okay. Does that work? No, it does not work. Okay. Now, I kind of think that if I go like crazy with the whole pairing the orange with the green, I think it'll actually look pretty good. So I've got all the green sector lighting going on for stuff like this. But if I also do some light orange here, some very slight orange, this could end up looking pretty cool. Yeah, it looks much better than that, right? Okay. That looks good. That will work too. Same with this. Oh, this is gonna look awesome. Yeah, I like this idea. What is that MIDI doing? Good lord. Jimmy's song, this will be better, of course. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling this. Like, I think it's gonna work out if I go orange and green. 'Cause orange and green really do pair quite nicely. You don't see that too much in Doom. Now the 3D floor, I'm not sure if that will change. Yeah, it changes only up here. Okay. And that changes down here. Okay, wow, I got it working. Good. I find lighting for 3D floors a little annoying sometimes. Change that to that. Crank that up. Oops, crank this up. There we go. Nice, I could lower that one, give it a little extra. Very nice. Okay. So I'm just doing a quick whip around to make sure I didn't forget too much for lighting here. Does this look any better? No, it looks terrible. Yeah, the for some reason the light blue paired with the orange just looks ghastly, but the dark yellow with the blue just makes better dark yellow. So that's what we'll stick with. All right, we have ourselves a map, Bill. This is definitely what we're looking for. I just realized that I don't put a lip here, then that 3-notch staircase is gonna be impossible to ascend. So, oh yeah, let's do that thing where we can't move the vertices. That's great, awesome. I love when it does that. So I'm just gonna load the map up again here. And we should be back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's twice in one sitting, and I had it not happen once in the previous 7 streams, so there's that at least. There's always something going on. Okay. Actually, I'm going to use this as an excuse to jump into Slade real quick and drop my Sky in and my MIDI, because I know exactly what MIDI I want to use. So I'm just going to close this map and we'll go and make Slade visible. There we go. And as you can see, my resource wad is already open. We've got my sounds, we've got my M Doom replacement, my N Doom, which has a little picture of a cacodemon that says "Thanks for playing." Decorate code for the railgun itself, and with my map info. So, what should we call this map? How about Slippery Sludge? Yeah, that works. Plus we get some alliteration going. I'm going to knock the sky up to 0.4. Sure, slightly fast sky, whatever. Save that. And save this whole constant resource swad here. Oops. Come on. There we go. Save this as too much brown plus resources. Save it, there we go. Open this and grab the 7th map. There it is. Copy that and paste it here. Okay, so now we've got everything loaded up here. I might as well drop in my sky, my music while I'm at it. Now, I already know what I want to use. It's a MIDI called Sludgehammer. I believe it's by AD79. Let me just check that before I say it for certain here. It is indeed, yeah, AD79. Probably one of my top 3 MIDI makers. They make amazing stuff. Okay, we got that. Now we still gotta grab our sky. Which will be a Mechadon sky, because Mechadon makes the best skies. I'll fight anybody on that. What do we have? But I want a brown one. I can't have anything that has a static, you know, portion, like a mountain range, because we're moving the sky, of course. So I need something green. Green and movable. Now you're not going to see anything on my screen right now because I actually intentionally don't show my file system. Just a safety thing, you know, not a big deal. But you'll see it in a moment here when I load it up. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's go with that. We're going to go with this sky. So I think it's got a nice look to it. And plus, if we're moving it at a certain scroll speed, it will... it'll look nice. Change it to S1 because that's how my map info grabs that. Save, and I think we are done with this. Just double check. Yeah, good. Okay. Save that again, just be sure. Get out of here. Should be back at UDB now. Yep. And we'll open that map now with its resources included. I'm just loading Doom 2 real quick. This will save me from having to do it at the very end. And it'll be a little less annoying, I think. Okay, this should work. That warning is just saying, hey, your railgun is defined as a shotgun. Oh no. It's fine. It's never caused me any problems. So there's our sky. Now that looks good. Now a little bit of scroll on that will look even better. So let's do ourselves a favor and get a quick runaround done in Xandro. Change the MIDI because it's a little slow. Okay, so this should be visible. Yep. I know I always gotta check this because it's just because OBS for some reason does not like my Xandrona window. There we go. These lights look great. They look really alive, really vibrant. That's gonna work at some point, of course. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. I like that blue armor placement. It's gonna work well. Okay. It moves pretty well. With that teleporter thrown in, it'll move very well. Okay. Nowhere to really get caught on anything either. You hit these, you just kind of skid off them. Do one more second of this here to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because then it comes to me dropping it in border textures and then dropping in my final textures and then just placing items and I am done. And with the items, it's like a 5-minute thing because I already know roughly where I want everything in my head now. But this is going to look snazzy when we get those brown textures going here. I didn't know there was so much Quake-esque stuff in this, which is kind of nice because I'm pretty familiar with using Quake textures from making my Q-type Deathmatch pack, which is a bit of an experimental pack I did with Mr. Pred and Worst back in 2022. Or was it? No, it was 2023, but we started in 2022. Pardon me. Yeah, it was 10 maps. I did 6 of the maps. He did 4 of the maps. He more focused on bringing real Quake 1 locations to the pack, whereas I worked on making Quake-esque locations, not stuff that was necessarily based on the real levels in the game. I think it came together pretty nicely. We had Worst scripting and making power-ups for us, and that turned out brilliantly, because those power-ups are great. And we even had improved bot support in Zandronum, where the bots are able to path towards those new power-ups quite nicely, actually. Now, bots will probably work pretty well in this map, but you always got to keep in mind that bots will always have a trouble navigating certain things versus a human, of course, right? Like the Zandronum bots can jump, but are they going to go from here to here and know that they can do that? Probably not. But they'll know they can go from here to here, if that makes sense. Like the more you play with bots, the more you'll learn how they work, but they're never going to even closely approximate how a human player is going to behave. And I guess I don't have to warp this texture because look at that. It's already warped. Very nice. Saves you some time. Okay. So now let's get some border texturing done. And I'm probably going to use this texture. Now, this is a relatively small map in terms of separate rooms and stuff, so it shouldn't take me too long to get the bulk of this done. But yeah, once this is complete, I can just go in and flood fill. I won't have to worry about too much additional work after I get my border textures in. So it's just a matter of, oh, does this pair with this? No, it doesn't. I'll switch to this. Does this pair to that? Oh, you know, over and over. But it usually goes pretty quick. The texturing part is never the part I find difficult. Actually, I don't find too many parts about mapping difficult at this point. In terms of deathmatch mapping, at least. Single player mapping, I can be stuck for days trying to figure something out. But deathmatch mapping, I can do pretty quickly now. Just adding those in. Add another border here. Okay, don't want that there. That'll probably work. There we go. And there, here, here. This will be some kind of brown tile, so I'll just go with texturing it like that for now. There we go. And this will do that, because whatever we end up putting there anyway, it's gonna match. Go like that here. And right there. And I suppose we can come up here and add in an additional border on either side here. You can see how this is already shaping up and making sense, so it shouldn't take me much longer. Because the border textures for the more organic area over there, I'm not going to have to put as many, of course. There we go. Alright. This is still a border of some kind, so I will highlight that. There, oh, there we go. Same on this side. Okay, so that's gonna be rock. Does that make sense to be rock? Okay, let's just think about this for a second. Unnatural curved border all throughout here. And just pinch a rock here for some reason. I'm thinking I should probably just get rid of that. And make this a natural area. Not change the whole map, of course, just that one region, because now that makes more sense, I think. And it gives me an excuse to drop in an additional piece of detail, at least. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to curve this one at all. Yeah, I don't know if I'll need to. I'll drop some kind of nice vent or something going on there. There we go. Here and here. Here's all rock, so right here I'll drop a texture, border texture. Here will work. Yeah, once I've done this portion, it'll come a lot faster. So I already know what I want. We're doing some kind of acid base, obviously, right? Like, as anyone can see at this point. So that shouldn't take me too long to get moving on. Trick's not to try to double the borders when they're both on a location that one can be on, you know? Like, I don't want to put this here and this is here, you know? Makes more sense to just do it this way. Try to keep some differential between them. There we go. I don't like that there. I think I'd much prefer that up here. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, we are nearly done this. That will go there. That there. Highlight all that. These are a little bit annoying to do because there's so many different planes. But not too bad. Not bad enough I'm going to complain forever about it. There we go. I think I should add another waterfall here. Yeah, it works. Okay. It's at least logical. We got one here, we might as well have one there, right? Here and here. I don't know how much I'll use of this entire area. Might switch some stuff around still. Okay. Things are shaping up actually. Wow. I curve this because that's hideous looking. Gives me an excuse to drop an additional border. This can drop to yeah, that makes sense. 144 makes sense. What needs to go on up here though? That's okay, that's good. A lot of this is going to be the same rock texture going all the way around this central void here. And a lot of it's already even because I dropped the staircase immediately. I didn't like scroll down each individual area. I dropped the whole area and then drew the stairs. So I probably don't have to worry about misalignments too much. Well, I'm going to drop a couple borders in like this. Just so that I don't have to worry about repeating things incorrectly on this. That'll work. Okay. I don't know if I like the side of those. Is there like a metal lip texture from this? No? Yes? Maybe this? That looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, that looks much cooler than I thought actually. Okay. So now that I know that's there, I can probably get away with putting this here. Oh, that's kind of gross. Kind of basic looking. Let's find something a little more exciting. Now, of course, I can use textures in this position too. I don't just have to use flats, obviously. With UDMF, I can get away with a lot more. That looks cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. Although, it kind of makes the tops of those not stand up very well. Slight dilemma. Well, not really, but just want to make sure I get this right. Maybe some lights. Perhaps some lights would work better there. Can I just have the foreshow? No. And I'm not, I'm not goofy. I didn't expect it to actually work that way, being that those are that shape. This is a bit bigger though. That might work. set it up correctly. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now I could probably even take this and wrap these now. Although that warning stripe is not going to align with the top warning stripe, which I don't know if it's a problem or not, because from visually far away you're not going to really notice, but it might drive me a little nuts. So maybe I'll keep it like this. Crank that up, and I'm going to give it an orange glow. There we go. That looks good. Why did my MIDI stop? There we go. That's a good one. So for this area now, I wanted to add some what do you call it? Grass, but I'm not really sure grass is going to work now. Might have to go with just rock, which is fine. Could go with this. Actually, that's kind of cool. Maybe I will go with that. I mean, for these areas, I'll drop into rock, or maybe here. I'll come up this, because you know we're under the roof here. We're not necessarily going to have the light to grow even a little tuft of grass like that. This hostile environment, right? So while it's not all about making perfect sense, we should at least follow some kind of sense in that regard, and not have stuff growing when it's dark, you know. But it might be prudent for me to just drop that here. Take the color and light this whole pillar. Well, not the whole pillar, but it makes sense to color that because that's there, right? So I guess I could do the same here. I know I didn't want to necessarily to avoid having to color the whole thing like this, but what if I went like that? See, this is floor 5 height. These are 8 height, so I'm going to drop this down to 5. Color that. Color that. Okay, put that here. Because these are so close, like, I might as well connect them, right? In some fashion. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Okay. That makes sense. It does. See, I'm gonna have to raise this a little bit. Probably to -6. And raise this to -6. Gotta keep this border still. And what happens if I drop it to -6? Ah. So that's to be -8. Pardon me. So you have no waterfall coming from that direction, so it wouldn't make sense to put a waterfall, you know, as the lip between those two locations, like right here. Because how the hell does that make sense? There's no water flowing from there, right? You know, maybe I'll just go back a bit here. Maybe it wasn't worth connecting those two things together. Okay. I'll figure something out here. I could just drop another waterfall, but I kind of don't want to. Because if I drop this floor to meet this floor's height, well, there's going to be a huge lip here, right? Kind of makes sense to just not do that. But then it kind of makes sense to at least lower this. Quite the dilemma. See, maybe it is sensible just to make that the alternate color that I was going for earlier. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because then we're not conflicting with this waterfall I already put in. Because I don't have room for a waterfall here. If I put in a waterfall here, why the hell is there one here? You know, I don't want to duplicate details right next to each other, of course. But here, we drop that. So that actually makes sense. Drop that there. Okay. Am I liking this? Am I not liking this? It's tricky having to deal with all the different floor heights. That's the only problem I'm having right now. That kind of works. Yeah, that definitely works. Okay. And that lip is still at a reasonable height that's not too stupid looking. Which is what we always want. We want to look not too stupid looking, you know, if at all possible, right? Life goals. Okay. Why is that not fitting? Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. Do I have that wrong? Oh, no, that's better. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Jeez. Okay, so we're coming up on 2.5 hours in, and I got most of the texturing idea done already, which is great news. And this is at least separated from this now, so it's visually sensible. Okay. So I need a different rock color for this. I think this might do, because this might draw your eye a little bit. These thicker lines, more visible lines here. Whoops, we don't want that. There we go. That here and here. And then if I take this and wrap that around here, at least we're different again, right? See? Well, wrapping rock textures around rough things like this doesn't always go the way you want it to go. What do I want for this top region? Kind of like that. Bit too much going on for this and this, I think. We already had that. We're obviously limited to something that's natural looking, of course, instead of unnatural. These are a little bright. This could potentially work. Does that look reasonable? Kind of. I quite like that, actually. Yeah, it looks cool. Okay, we'll stick with that for now. I did not want that to change. There we go. Now it's a map. We can't use the same, you know, a different rock for every single rock section in this map, of course. But we can try to break things up by replacing the same rocks but at different distances from each other, so they don't look like they're the same, but they are. Like that and that's different, but that is used here, but you wouldn't know that's used here. You know what I mean? Like visually, like of course your eyes you can analyze it and go, oh, okay, that's the same. But like sprinting through a map, you're probably not going to notice a repeat of a rock texture that easily. Now here, I gotta find something that lights up well under the green. I could always throw a Doom texture in there, but I kind of want to stay authentic to this pack right now. So I'm really liking this pack. This texture pack's pretty nice. Perhaps this. Add a little. Oh, okay. That lights up okay. And we're going to use something different again there. Okay. Looks pretty good. And because that's here, we could probably put this here. And borrow this. I remember I put that lip there so you could actually step up to full 3 still on all sides. Because without this, you're not getting up that step without jumping. That's a pain. Now I need to find a big, nice looking computer monitor or something. Because something like that would look really good here. What about this? Okay. That looks cool. Put the orange glow on that. Is that full bright? Yep, okay. That vent is very cool. I like that. I'm probably going to want to frame this back portion because I'm going to put some kind of light array there, but on the sides it might be better to have some kind of brown pattern or something. And this could go here theoretically. It's going to be tricky to do the the 3D platform just because it kind of limits you on how you can texture it. Yeah, that works. I like this one. This MIDI. Okay, so that connects a full border all around. Now we technically... auto align doesn't want to change anything, but I think we are technically misaligned somewhere. But if I can't see it, it probably doesn't matter too much. Yeah, okay. Down here I want something pale. Some kind of pale rock. Oh, this will work, because then I can texture it and nobody's going to notice any kind of issue with it. There we go. I'll do that here. Here. And probably here. I'm going to stagger this with a different color texture. Or, you know, this will work. Haven't used this for a little while. Okay. So that's looking good. I think I'll drop a border here on each side. Because I don't have to repeat it on the mid texture. I don't have the mid texture. I keep saying that. The 3D floor. I don't have to repeat on the 3D floor, obviously. So I can't. The moment I press that, it's going to switch over. So. Might as well just get rid of those borders on and just go the whole way of this. Yeah, that looks good. And this texture can probably go here again. Yep. And also can probably go here. The only problem is that kind of dedicates me to have to use it for the floor up here, which I think that'll be okay. Yeah, that'll work. Take this one and go here. Now I need one other texture to kind of, well, not one other texture, but one other different rock texture to follow up here somewhere. Okay. What do I even want? This work? Have I used that elsewhere? That's different. Okay, I'll use it here. And like that. Add it here. Is that too tall? No, it's not. Okay. Down here we'll go like that. Because nobody's going to see it seam up there, so we might as well just put it here. I need something that follows this whole wall without looking terrible. Which, of course, the texture itself isn't going to look terrible. It's how I use it that's going to look terrible. That's what I mean, of course. Whenever I see someone say something like that, I'm not talking shit about the texture pack, of course. It's more of a, you know, how am I going to go about doing that, you know? Kind of like this. Haven't used this yet. Yeah, that looks nice. And if it's only using this tunnel, then me repeating it the whole way won't look repetitive as much because it's not elsewhere in the map, you know? Okay. There we go. Very nice. Alright, that actually works. Thank goodness. Okay, we've got most of this outdoor region done now. The indoor region is not nearly as big, so I'm not worried about it as much. Let's see, these lights, they look good anywhere else? Maybe. Not there though, because of that lip. Let's see if there's anything that's better. So anything that's white, we don't gotta worry about it being white, because I can just change that with sector lighting. But if we jump in with an orange or a yellow already and then apply sector lighting, it might look even better. So. Actually, we might be just tall enough here. Let me see. That works. That actually works. We're like 1 pixel off showing the next orange light, but that actually does work. Wow. Okay. So I'm just gonna throw all these in here. Now, I might add mid textures in front of them, I might not. Depends on how I am feeling, to be honest. No, that looks decent. Wow. Wow. Okay. Switch it up here because we're framing something else now. Maybe this? Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Kind of cool. I know it's very similar to this orange one. Maybe too similar. Maybe we'll just go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Looks better. Now, for a light like this that is already going to be tinted green, we got to find something different here. Something that's like single tone, single color, single pattern, you know? Easier said than done, of course. In terms of finding something that will fit in a weird spot like that. Maybe this? Or maybe this. That's got a little bit of a rust to it. Oops. Wrong side. Fix that. There we go. Kinda. Now I come into a bit of a problem, right? Because I could go with this. But then what am I stuck with? I am stuck with possibly having to make this darker to make those lights pop more. So if there's another option, I might look for it. Is there anything I can do this? Kinda. Is there a better option with this, perhaps? I think I can get it to work. Because if it's only in the one space, which it will be, it's not going to look egregious, you know? Okay, so I think I will go with that for now. I don't think it's animated though. It sounds like wedding or funeral music. That sounds better. Maybe if I frame these like so. Then I can color these else, not, the other color. We can have a nice little circular light. There we go. Okay, and I gotta find some kind of texture that fits these walls decently. I kind of want to use that brick for like the main indoor wall texture. Maybe I will. Not here, but like here. And for this, something else. Maybe this big caution thing. That's kind of cool. Now, is this the same height as this? So I kind of feel like I should be adding some kind of detail there. Because it's fine for that wall and that wall down there, but it's a little, not bland, but blank looking. Kind of wish there was more brick in this set, actually. Unless I'm looking at the wrong section. Probably am. Surely there's a little more brick. Yeah, here we go. That might look better. Could go with some concrete, but like maybe this. That looks a bit better for that space. I gotta find something that matches now that indoor part, that inside part. Maybe this. Now, it might not look like it matches yet, but when I throw the lights inside here, we might see something work a little bit better. I kind of like this. I think it actually works for a simpler lateral pattern like that. Pairing a square pattern like that. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Now here I could probably, because it's a different tone, it kind of makes sense to change to something else. Maybe this, and frame it. Yeah. Frame that with this. It makes a bit more sense. Yeah, makes much more sense. And we're gonna look at a certain flat I like already for there. That looks good. So I'll probably continue it here. Now I can probably cut some tiles out from this middle section and that will look nice. I'm not going to use it here, I'm going to use something similar. Does that line up even? No. Which is no fault of the texture artist. Because why would that need to line up, right? That works. Oh, come on. There we go. No, you're not going to line up properly? Okay. There we go. I'm going to kind of reverse that here and split that. Makes sense. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? Come out here like this, which means I should probably take this, plop it here. Nope. Oops. Do that right here. Select all this and lower it just a little bit. There we go. Now, do I need to do the same here? I could probably do something different here because I don't want to get too stuck in my ways, texturing wise. A nice non-repeating texture will be a good frame for this square texture. Although, I kind of don't really like it there. Maybe go with this instead? Then I kind of have to go there, like, okay, that works. That works, that works, that works. Good. Very good. Okay. Now what do I use for lights here? I use these. Okay. So I'll probably do the same here. But does it make sense? Maybe I should turn that to green. Oops. There. Oh, come on. There we go. Turn this to green. Because now it gives me an excuse to use this over here. That, like that. Okay. This brick texture. Kind of like it on the outside here a bit. Yeah, it's like the outside border entering the base almost. Like this. Probably like this, yeah. Okay. We're actually getting somewhere here. Wow. I want some kind of lateral concrete, like something with like horizontal lines, you know? this perhaps, or maybe this. What do I like better here? Probably this. That here like that. Top section. Yeah, I'll keep the bottom border, but why not extend this? No point not to. Do this here. Some kind of border here. So that things look clean. There we go. I can use this here. Turn it sideways. No? Oops, wrong one, wrong one. There we go. Okay, that makes sense. Put that here and here. Kind of went down to 90. There we go. Put that up here at a 90 as well. Nice, very nice. Because we're framing this horizontally, kind of makes sense to flip it like that, but I'm not sure. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? I don't know. Probably switch this to that. There we go. And of course, I don't think this is framed. That's better. Probably reverse this on these walls. And in here, I want some kind of not like vent, but like something that kind of makes sense for the region. Like so. Okay. Right. That actually makes sense on a logical level, those textures there. Maybe too much. Maybe this. Now you just find the blank gray concrete or something for that. I'd be cooking. Maybe this. That'll work. Now for lights, what are we doing for lights here? Can we even get away with much? Perhaps not. We'll see. These are nice and small. So, oh yeah, that'll work. Kind of fits the industrial look too. They're all the same plane, so I can do this way easier. There we go. And throw that up there. Now, a nice thing with square textures like this is that I can just stretch the corner and nobody will be any the wiser. There we go. Select it all. Move to the center. Boom. Oh, not quite. There we go. Nice. Yeah, it looks like a bit of a mistake on that, so. That looks cool. Okay, good. That works, that works. And I'll do this over here. Come on. No, we're not going to switch properly. Why would you go 92.5 instead of 90? That just doesn't make any sense. Just like that. Okay. What are we going to do for that brick area here? I'll do that. Then take this and go here and here. Now I gotta be careful because I don't want to fall out the whole way, right? Unless I do. Drop that. Frame there. And then maybe take, we know we can tint these green. Put that up here. That looks cool. Crank the brightness up. Oh, there we go. Now we actually have a reason to look there, you know? Take this, put it here. Take this. Put that there, because that'll look good. Same with this. Very, danger, watch out, lots of caustic shit, you know? That kind of feel. Go here for this roof. Alright, I just have this little region left here. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, trying to find the last little bits, you know? Here's a generic texture or something. Not generic, but like... I guess something that could look like any kind of texture. I saw something earlier. Try this out maybe? I know it's not tech, but like, that could work. Yeah, that looks cool. Pop that there. And there. Okay. Now, I can't use this here because I've used it too many times already. But if I go with something like this, like some bullet holes. Oops. That's kind of cool. And on this side, could go with this because there's no bullet holes. How lovely. So this, bullet holes, and this one. Put it in a different position so it doesn't look too unnatural. Put bullet holes here also on this one. This one will be bare. That will be bare, and this will have bullet holes. Nice little variety, you know what I'm saying? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I'm using the non-bullet hole one. Jesus. There we go. Now the bottom here, I feel should probably be concrete to match the top, but we can probably get away with green concrete. Yeah, we can actually. Okay. Which means you can probably get away with it here. Okay. And here. Take these bright orange lights, plop them there and there. Which I don't know if I... Okay, I won't put them on the ground because that kind of makes it hard to differentiate between where the teleporter location is. That looks cool. Here and here and here and there. Take the brick texture to further distribute it throughout this map. There and there and there. Yeah, you're scared of that border. Yeah, get rid of that border there and here. No, not there. Keep that little bit of metal going. Okay, that's pretty wonky looking here. Okay. Okay, that makes sense to me. Now this, it doesn't make sense to me because it's splitting up that pattern too much. You need a bare concrete. There we go, that will work. That can stay green. Okay. Which means that can stay green. And that can stay green. That probably should be that. I just don't know about this pattern. Like, well, not pattern. Absence of pattern, right? Maybe I put a lip on it. At least on this outside area. Like so. That helps a little bit. Yeah, that helps a little bit at least. So I'm going to border these. Make my life a little bit easier even. Do that. Do that. See, I wish there's a green one equivalent of this, you know? Maybe this. Will that add a little bit more of a connection between the gray and the green? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Maybe it'd be best if I took this color from here and plopped it here. There we go. There's a little bit more going on now in terms of connectivity between those two textures now. So we'll leave that as it is for now and come back to it. Now, if I have these here, I don't want to have them there, obviously. Okay. So I should probably throw some on this side. To match things a little bit. Question is where, though? Well, 2 from the wall, according to the rest of this geometry. So here. Two from the wall. Now this one, I'm going to try something with. I'm going to delete that, and extend this. Like so. Flex that. There, it kind of makes sense. I kind of feel like I should put a pillar here because there's no anything in this entire area. Okay, raise this. What do I want? Maybe this? Yeah, could work. Maybe if I took this green from here, put it here, but cranked it down just a little bit more. There, that looks reasonable. Okay. Because yeah, before we didn't have much going on in ways of cover here. At least this splits something up a little bit now. Plus it'll give whoever goes up here to grab the blue armor a chance to defend themselves if they're coming down this hallway again. Here you got the corner to peek around, of course. So. Am I missing anything? Okay, let's drop some lighting effects. Drop one there, and here, 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 and there, and probably there and there. So we're going to put flicker on these ones and glow on the teleporters. Only glow on the teleporters so that you can actually tell, oh yeah, that's a teleporter, you know? So I'm going to move those particle fountains I have before I finish making the teleporters. Okay. Yep, there we go. Now I'm going to jump into a screen real quick here, but you might not be able to see it on your screen because for whatever reason UDB does not appreciate this screen that's on my screen right now. Yeah, so you can't see it. But anyway, it'll take me 2 seconds to make a teleporter real quick. So that's going to be tag 500. Okay. This will be 500. So that connects to that. Make this 501. And then take these, flip them. and connect to 501. I think that's how it should work. Does that work? Oh no, wait, these should probably be 502. Okay, let's try that. Boom, 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 and bang, bang, bang. There we go. Good. Now I'm going to drop the teleporter destinations, and then those teleporters should be up and running, theoretically. Oops. Get that. There we go. Move him to here. Okay, so this map is pretty much ready to drop the textures into, but I'm going to do a quick run around just to make sure that everything is, you know, looking good. Yep, that's working. Okay. Whoa. What is happening there? Some kind of void rip. Well, that's fixable. It's just annoying. Usually it's some kind of node issue. I haven't figured out what causes that yet, but it's not too annoying to fix. Okay. Oh, that needs to be fixed. Okay. I'm there. You snag that blue armor through the wall, that'd be really dumb. No, you can't. Good. Okay. So, let's get that last little bit of texturing done that we saw. And right here is an issue. So we gotta figure that out. So move that up. Sometimes you scroll down and you're like, oh, that's why there's a missing texture there. So I'll try to do this here. Bring that back up. And then I'm going to go down and just move them ever so slightly on grid. So it has to rebuild the nodes that way. And then I'm going to go to make sector and just make the sectors around it again. There we go. Now that should hypothetically have fixed that, so we'll have to see. Okay. All right. Let's get our items placed. Up here, we're going for railgun because it just makes sense. There we go. Snap the grid. That's where that belongs. Super shotgun will go down here in the bottom. It's always good to have a central super shotgun, but I don't want to put it right where the other area is. Okay. Yep, that works. Here we're going to put a supercharge. I know we already have power up in the map, but that power up is behind a wall and on the other side of the level essentially. So even though that's within sight, it's highly unlikely someone's gonna have the supercharge and the blue armor at the same time. Because to get the blue armor, you gotta spawn in, grab it, come back, and then you gotta go all the way around. Like that's like 8-9 seconds. So chances are you've already encountered another player, or you're already dead by that time anyway. So that'll work there, and we'll draw some movement to the middle. I'll put a backpack on the edge of this so people can be inclined to jump. There we go. And maybe on the edge of this too. There we go. Nice. That also works. And for here, we're just going to drop some health bonuses for a little added color. Plus, it'll draw your attention to supercharge a little more, which probably doesn't need that much attention drawn to it. It's a damn power up, right? But it'll still help. There we go. Here might be a good place for a spawn. Or actually a rocket launcher would probably work here. There we go. Stim pack and a stim pack. Something here because they're gonna be running at this wall anyway, so I should put some kind of slight incentive in a way, if that makes sense. Cell charge pack, that'll work. Everybody's gonna want that, obviously. Rocket here, here, and here, and then shells there and there. Okay, box of ammo and a box of shells. A box of rockets here. Probably there too. This will be another super shotgun. Where else should I place this? Probably here. Does that work? Yep. Here we'll go a box of ammo and a cell charge. Might be too close. Probably here. Maybe here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Here I'll put a chain gun. That works too. I'll put another super shotgun up here, but I'm going to put it off to the side a little bit, so that it does not impede the exit of the teleporter. So you want someone to come out and dodge a super shotgun, right? Like, even though most people don't have auto switch on, it's still going to be a pain in the ass. Okay. So now you're coming up this corridor. See how it's not like right in your way? Well, maybe I'll move it over a little bit more even. Not in your way. You still go grab the railgun, no problem, everything else. I just noticed the texture I was missing. Okay, I'm going to draw a square around that real quick. Oh yeah, because the 3D floor, it's not going to work out that way. Dang. Let's find something else. Maybe this? I know it's a sand looking texture, but that could work. I'm gonna roll with that. See what happens. Yeah, that'll work. I think I'm gonna make this a little more orange. Might make these a little more orange too. There we go. In fact, I might make most things a little bit more orange. Because I find that too much green becomes blinding, but a little bit of orange doesn't seem as blinding. Orange. Oops. Okay. Okay, that'll help a bit. Do the same for here. Yeah, that looks better. Put some stuff going up the stairs. Box of shells, box of shells. Stim pack, stim pack. It's only 40 health. It seems like a lot before stim packs. So it's only 40 health. Okay. Drop a few scattered rockets here. That's why I wouldn't die. And a box of shells there, a box of shells here. Medkit here, medkit here. A bit of shells here. And in front of this, we've already got that there. Let's put a backpack? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. So let's check out our spawns here. What do we have for spawns? 1. 2. 3. I'll put one in this corridor. Plasma gun, because we don't have a plasma gun yet. And we'll be traveling down because I don't want to put unjust pressure on that teleporter just yet. So we put a plasma there. What if I move that super shotgun to here? Kept that there. Put the plasma underneath. like that. And put another super shotgun here. That could definitely work. Yeah, that makes sense. Because then we can use this as a spawn. Well, we want to be going out, I guess, like that, probably. Okay. Oh, this is a cheery little MIDI. Two. Three. Four. And 5. So let's see if that'll work. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 6. 6 might be what we need. So I know we're a little super shoddy heavy, but it just seems like what kind of map this is going to end up playing like. Okay. Oops. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, that'll work. And I'll put one more stim pack up here. I mean, not stim pack, pardon me, med kit. There we go. There we go. So this should be ready for a bot test. So that's great news. And we are 3.5 hours in. So, let me just think. Is there anything else I would change here? I don't know. I think this is actually a pretty decent map. Let me just check one thing real quick, and then I'll jump into my bot test. Okay, I am going to jump into my bot test right now, which shouldn't take any time to set up at all, thankfully. I don't gotta set up a server or any of that kind of nonsense. I can just jump in and add bot, add bot, add bot, and I should be good. I've got the 3 best bots in all of Zandrodum figured out already, in terms of who I'm going to be adding. Ultimus, who's the maxed out bot that's in the bot info lump. Orion, who's like probably second best, and then Manic, who has very good reaction time but poor aim. So I'm going to add all 3 of those things. This is going to be a 3 to 4 person FFA type match. And I'll run through that for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Just get everything kind of figured out in terms of flow. Granted, you know, when we see bots running around, we're not going to see the actual representation of how players are going to use the map, right? Because, like I said earlier, some bots aren't going to be able to figure out how to jump up a certain step. Some aren't going to be able to figure out, you know, oh, I should prioritize the blue armor, that kind of thing. So it's not a big deal. It's just I want you to keep that in mind before we jump in. So that looks good. Everything looks good. Okay. I'm gonna launch Zandrodum under the Deathmatch parameter here. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to switch to the song we selected earlier because I don't want it to repeat like 5 times while I'm doing this. Okay, we should be good here. Yeah, nice. Alright. Ooh, that's a little purple, isn't it? Or am I crazy? A little purple. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to spawn some people in. Not people. Bots, of course. Ultimus. Orion. Manek. There we go. Let's give this a shot. Now Ultimus is going to be a... Oh, I still haven't fixed this somehow. Let me exit Xandronum and try to fix that again. I don't know why that's happening. It's driving me nuts. Okay, move that and that and that. Ah. See, it's something to do with how this area is rendering. I don't know why it's causing me an issue. Maybe if I try to trick it a little bit here. Join those. Whoops. Join those. Shouldn't cause any issues. Nothing there. Do make sector for this whole area again. To be safe. Try it again. Ah. See, I'm missing little tiny bits of texturing in places, which is fine. Like, this is all just, you know, testing and figuring shit out, right? But, I'm glad I'm seeing them as I'm going, at least. I'll take a look at this one more time, just to make sure there's nothing, like, missing, you know? It's very weird. I don't know what causes that to happen, because yeah, I have no idea what causes that to happen. So I'll do that. Make it rebuild the nodes again. Go down to 4 and snap this to grid. I guess. Okay. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what the issue is. Normally, just wiggling around some line defs fixes the situation, so let's try that again. Ah, what is going on there? That's driving me nuts. I'm gonna try. Okay, I got one more idea. I'm going to try to redraw the entire sector. Oh, that's more annoying than I thought. Let me try to redraw this line, and if that doesn't work, then I'll redraw the sector, because whatever, you know? Or maybe I'll do this. Like that. And then I'll flip these line defs. Even it out. Save. Maybe that will work. Like I said, it's all about, you know, wiggling line defs around until things get figured out, but I don't know what is causing that. Here we go. It's going to show the same thing. See? What is going on? See, it's solid ground. It's right from this point. Where is that? Right here. take a screenshot of that just so I know exactly where that point is, and then I'm going to try to move something around that. We'll see. So maybe if I move these around a bit. Maybe if I redraw these. I had it happen before in my dog tag deathmatch map pack, which I haven't released yet, but I was able to fix it there. So I'm just going to redraw entirely around it, the issue. Like so. Make sector. Save. Would that slope be causing that issue? Wait a second. Is that slope the problem? That might be the problem. Okay. Let's make it to a staircase. Okay. What do I use for a staircase around here? Right here. That'll work. Okay. Up to 32. There we go. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. I still gotta split it one more time. 2, 2. I could use that bottom one as a, what do you call it? A 3 notch stair. Maybe if I do this. Okay, and then I'm going to do make sector on each of these. Everything in that area. Now, obviously it looks like make sector does nothing, but from what someone told me before, I don't know how accurate this is, when you do that, it forces the editor to rebuild the nodes in that sector. All the line depths will connect to it. So sometimes I can iron out an issue like that, but I guarantee you it's probably that stupid slope. Now, I don't know why it's not affecting the other slopes, you know, whatever. But we'll see if that fixes it. It fixed it, look at that, gone. Nice, that's what I like to see. Okay. So make sure everything else looks good first before I drop anybody in here. Yep. Does everything work? Seems like it. I really like this area. It's kind of cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually pretty neat. Okay. So I should be able to drop those bots in now. Ultimus. Orion. And Manek. Manek? Something like that. M-A-N-E-K. Whatever that pronounces. So here we go. Now, we'll see how this goes, because while bots aren't the smartest, they're pretty damn accurate at this stage. This level. Anyway. Oh, that's cool. I like that. You can see through to the main area. Of course, I'm playing without a crosshair, so it's a little awkward. Actually, why am I playing without a crosshair? Let me fix that in a second. Once I die again, I'll fix it. Okay. Here we go. Whoa, that's too big. Yeah, I guess I'll try that. Whoa, why is that so massive? So I go like this. Oh, no, that's fine. I'll deal with this. See how vicious those bots are, though, sometimes? Like, especially that rocket launcher. Up 3, though. Now, it doesn't take much skill to even beat the toughest bots in Zandronum, which is what these are, in my opinion. If you look at the bot info lump in the Zandronum PK3, Manek, Ultimus, and Orion are by far the most proficient bots out there. Oh, wow. Posthumous frag. You see how good they are at that chain gun, though? That's ridiculous. Just obscene. Yeah, so stuff like chain gun, they're going to excel better than humans. Because chain gun is just a matter of put X crosshair over Y opponent, right? That's all the bot has to do. Whereas if stuff like rockets, they have to learn how to lead. Like, you of course can't just shoot a rocket at a moving opponent. It's gonna be gone by the time the rocket hits, right? So they have to learn how to lead stuff. And when it comes down to something like that, where they have to predict themselves, like they're just not on the same level as humans at all. But something like chain gun, like they'll just tear you apart if you're not careful. But I've been playing these bots for like decades now. The thing is that they're really good at killing each other and not so good at killing me. So they'll kind of gang up on each other. See? Like I'm down 1. But like I haven't been doing too bad here. So far things are working though. Like this actually flows pretty well. This armor, this supercharge does draw people. And this armor area is actually pretty neat. Like also super shotgun. You know, there's a lot of a lot of dancing with super shotgun, right? So we're not as good as that because I don't know what they need to do to avoid consecutive shotgun blasts. Whereas you would think they'd be just as good at super shotgun as they are with chain guns because they're both hit scans. They probably follow the same principle, right? Put X crosshair over Y opponent essentially, right? But it's different because there's so much movement inherent to super shotgun fire. Whereas with chain gun, there's not. If that makes sense. That's kind of how I see it, at least. Because, you know, bots are nowhere near human skill, of course. Like, even the dumbest person is still going to be smarter than the smartest bot, you know what I mean? In cruder terms. You don't even know that. But you see that chain gun just tears you apart. Again, see? And of course, a human's not going to have that capability, right? Wow, he's just tearing us apart. Wow, obnoxious. And it seems like these bots are actually pathing towards the power-up, which I'm a little surprised by. Like the supercharge, they'll path to you no matter what, because that makes sense. It's right out in the open, right? But for pathing to that hidden blue armor, it's kind of surprising that they're doing that. What I'm surprised by is they seem to understand how those teleports work, which is kind of nice. So I've made some levels where they're just like, huh? What's this? And they stop like right before a teleport, just stand there. Or like another thing people don't know about Zandronum bots, if you don't have jump on, they'll just every now and then stop and stare at the wall for like 20 minutes straight. So if you're playing Zandronum bots, always turn jump on, or they'll just look like they're completely stupid. Yeah, that's a little known fact. Cause I was playing it before default Zandronum bots. Like, see what I mean? See what I mean? They get caught up sometimes still. That's always gonna happen. Nothing you can do about that. It's because they you know. There's no way how you can predict how bots are going to act in a certain geometry. Well, to an extent. If I was to make a point A to point B hallway, well, no shit. Like, the bot's going to be able to go from point A to point B, right? But if I make a point A to point B hallway and I put a bump in the middle they have to jump over, well, that's not always guaranteed they're going to be able to figure their shit out, right? If that makes sense. It's not always a given that they'll be able to figure out complex geometry. But they're not bad. Like, you can see one of them has 37 frags. See Ultimus, the maxed out guy? Maxed out stats? You see? He just stops there. It's very weird. This flows well. This is a nice little map. I know I'm saying about my own work, and I always kind of say that about my own work, but like I said again, you should be making maps that you like to make, maps that you like to play. And right now, I am enjoying playing this, even if it's just against, you know, silly bots. But no, this is actually working out pretty well, and it looks good too. I think it looks decent. What's funny is, I don't really look at these as speed maps because it's just how fast I map anyway, right? But I was done this at the 3-hour mark, which kind of means, well, not 3-hour mark, a little further than that. That kind of means that I was making a speed map essentially. It was under 4 hours, I think. Isn't that like the normal way people define a speed map? Under 4 hours? I wouldn't actually know because I've never speed mapped, because nobody does speed mapping for Deathmatch. Or for any MP thing, multiplayer. Well, no, that's incorrect, I think. I think some of the 32 and 24 map packs might have done capture the flag speed mapping. But definitely no deathmatch, I think. Which is a shame, because it's so much fun. Okay. I love this. You can see right through there. That's great. You see, Ultimus would give you quite a bit of challenge if you were a newer deathmatch player, but not by himself. Because you got this that happens every now and then. And I don't know why that happens, but it seems like by that teleporter, something messes up their pathing. Not sure. Not sure about it. There are actually bots that I think are slightly better than the ones that come default in Zandronum. I think those are called TD bots. I can't remember who made them. I'm pretty sure their name is something TD something. But yeah, those are really good bots, and they're fully customizable from within the game instead of having to do everything from console or before you start. So yeah, they're real nice to use. You can use them in GZ Doom of all things too. Oh, telefrag. That's rare. Especially with no stops. Wow. He's probably standing right on the receptor. Telefrag. Have a port entrance. That's what I'm looking for. Ooh. Bit unpleasant. I think because I'm a little earlier today, because I want to get the flow down for this, I'm probably going to go to 100 frags. So that's another 37 frags, and then I'll probably call it a night, because I'll be coming up on 8:30 my time, which is typically how long a stream goes for. So that's perfect. Hopefully I win this match, or that'd be quite embarrassing. See what I mean with the rockets? You can predict them pretty easily, because to be good with a rocket launcher, you have to think ahead, and bots can't think ahead. But no, this is actually playing pretty nice. The railgun setup works. The blue armor is actually kind of nifty. So I see someone going in there, wham! Wham! You know? Like, that's some good stuff. Another thing, if you're brand new to playing against bots in Xandro, don't just type in add bot and hope for the best, because you're going to get some really terrible bots, and then that's going to paint your whole picture on how good the bots actually are going forwards. Like, actually look up in the bot info lump within Slade, load up the Xandronum PK3, find bot info, and then scroll through until you find some that have the parameters you like, or you can go ahead and alter them yourself. You don't just have to use what they have there. You can say, like, everything goes up to a level of 6, Ultimus at 6 for all the stats. So say, you can load up a bot called Chubbs, for example, who's like 0s and 1s, and you can give him 6s in place, and when you play him next, you'll actually be good. And I can't remember if this is Xandronum or GZ Doom only, but you can type in the console bot skill from a range of 1 to 4, 4 being the toughest. And that will make the bots much more challenging too. But I didn't do that because I'm playing bots that are close to maxed out in stats, right? So. There's not much point in doing that, really. For me, at least. But for people that are new to playing bots, like, look at the bot info lump, like, please. Because otherwise you're going to randomly assign yourself really terrible bots that you can beat easily. And you're going to think to yourself, wow, these bots sure are dumber than I thought, you know? And you're just not going to have the, you know, the proper representative experience of them. Because they generally can actually not put up a challenge on a technique level. They definitely put up a challenge in like the sense that like, hey, I get to shoot moving targets in a DM map and not have to wait for people to drop in, real people, you know. So if you can tweak bots to the way you like them, or at least to their somewhat competent. Like right now, Ultimus is at 74 frags. He's only 8 behind me. Which goes to show you, like the bots aren't terrible. If I was a really poor player or a brand new player, something like 1 or 2 Ultimuses in the same match would be quite challenging. I almost wonder if that 3D floor is causing him trouble. That could be. Could be possible. Because the only place I've seen him stalling out is... Yeah, look at this. It's right here. It's the only place they stall out at is on that 3D floor. So I wouldn't doubt that's part of the issue. I wouldn't doubt some of that goes unnoticed in dev for this port, because all that 3D floor support stuff came out after Deathmatch started getting less popular. So I wouldn't doubt some of the nuances can get ignored or not noticed sometimes, just because of how things are set up. Or how the Deathmatch scene is nowadays. But you think that would drive more incentive to make your bots really smart, because if there's nobody consistently playing all the time, you know, Deathmatch should be played all the time, all throughout the day, all on different ports, right? Not so much nowadays. You still get games randomly pretty easily. But sometimes you gotta sit in a server for like 15-20 minutes before someone pops in. So it would make even more sense nowadays to have your bots be even more intelligent than they currently are. Because if there's nobody consistently playing, there's an added benefit to having good AI opponents, right? But there's only so much that can be done, and so much time, of course. And like I said, there's not much interest in Deathmatch right now compared to, say, single player. So you're probably not going to see bots get that much smarter in the next little while, unless some dedicated person makes some kind of mod, you know, that's like bot related. But that's not to say these are horrible. These aren't horrible. Don't get me wrong. Sure, okay, I got one more frag here, and I'm going to wrap this up. Ah, come on. Okay. So there goes the bot test. And that actually worked out pretty well. I'm just going to make a final pass of the level here. I thought I saw one thing I wanted to change. Take that and that. I'm going to add a flicker. There we go. Okay, and there is our finished level. And stream lasted pretty much exactly how long it's supposed to. So I think what I'll do next time is every time I complete something, instead of just going, oh, you know, I'll run around and show off the area. Like, that's not enough necessarily. Like, if I'm behind time still on my normal scheduled stream, I'll jump in and still get a bot match in, because why not? It actually gives an indication of how the level's set up correctly or not. So, but so that's probably going to do it for tonight. Now tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. MDT, that's Mountain Daylight Time, I'm going to be doing more randomized mapping, starting from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. that time, MDT. So 6-hour stream tomorrow, my first 6-hour stream. These are typically 4 hours, these ones, but that'll be 6 hours, maybe even longer, because I'm going to try to get 2 maps done. So we will see how that goes. But so far so good on this. That is map 7 done successfully in the allotted stream time with no issues. So I'm going to take some pictures of this and drop them in the What Are You Working On thread on Doom World later. And yeah, that should do it. I will see you all next time. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.